Have I got Rick here?
Yes.
Splendid. And is it Dino?
It is.
Now, is it Dean or Dean-O?
Either or.
So that's a nickname, really?
It is, yeah.
I'll call you Dean, then. Now, Rick, this is a case where it said on the face of it, you owe Dean some money. And Dean, this is a very straightforward matter. You say you lent Rick some money, £1,000 in fact, after you had a very lucky win. You've always been responsible with money. The money you got was from a gamble. You gave that money to Rick. You did something very sensible, which was that you got the agreement that you had to lend the money to Rick down on paper. Very sensible. Very good. And unfortunately, Rick hasn't paid that money back. It's as simple as that. Rick says the circumstances upon which you lent him that money, particularly that it was a windfall, it was from a gamble, are such that I shouldn't construe that as a loan. I should say that that was a gift, because what it was a win on the horses. It was a win on betting. Find out more about where it came from. It's actually on football. But because it was a win, it wasn't money that you'd actually earned. So the circumstances are such that I can construe it as a gift. What's more, even if I don't find that, Rick says to me, he says, well, there have been various circumstances in the past where you've lived with him or he's done things for you, which I should take into account and take off the £1,000. That's the case between you. Is that right, Rick?
Yes.
Yes?
Judge.
Very good. Now, how long ago, and I don't mean to embarrass you, who knows, how long ago was school? Primary school or secondary school?
Secondary school.
Right, so you've known each other since you were sort of 11, 12, 13, really?
Yeah.
And I think it's fair to say, not fair to say, true to say, you had a mutual love of singing. Is that right, Rick?
Yes, Judge.
Yes,
Judge, yeah.
And you ended up, as I understand it, in a group together, some kind of boy band. Is that right, Rick?
Yeah.
What was the name of the boy band, Dino?
Caution.
It's called what?
Caution.
Caution?
Yeah. Spelt with a C.
As opposed to a...
Something doing with the K.
Right, and there are... That's the two of you. That's you kneeling down. You look rather different. Splendid. And what was the hope? What did you hope you would achieve, Rick? Did you think you'd be as big as Take That?
Well, at that age, you imagine you could go anywhere with it. You were quite hopeful we'll do quite well, but to be honest...
You said you could go anywhere.
Yeah.
What was the furthest you got, geographically speaking? Blackpool?
Yeah. No, not very far.
The point was that when you're in a boy band like that, and when you spend all of your time, since you were children, the quality of your friendship was very, very strong. Correct?
Yes.
At some point, you lent Rick £1,000.
Yeah.
Now, you've been working. Where did you get £1,000 from? I presume you weren't reforming the band and doing gigs.
No.
No. Right.
I won £1,462 on a football bet.
£1,462 on a football bet?
Yeah.
Now, there comes a time where you lend how much of it to Rick?
1,000.
What did you ask Dean to do, Rick?
I asked him if I could lend £1,000 of the money. Because it was
borrow
money,
it?
Yeah, because it's money that he didn't have in the first place, so it's not like he's going to be missing it.
Stop, pause. I have to get into my listening pose. I need to be as generous as possible. I just need to be standing square when I'm full frontal and hit by moron. So try and say that to me again. I just want to understand. You say that that was not his money. Say it in words that I understand. I'm going to write it down in big.
It's like I say, it's money that he didn't have in the first place. And he was still at £400 for the good. And he was just doing me a favour and helping me out with it.
Now, let's go to £1,000. What did you need £1,000 for?
At the time, the girlfriend had just finished a job, because it's in Blackpool, it was a season. So we're a bit behind on the rent. I had a few catalogues outstanding. And I just wanted to get up to date with all my bills.
So it's for debt?
Yeah, basically.
Now, here's a thing you did which was rather sensible. You didn't just hand over £1,000 in cash, correct?
Correct.
You wrote something down, didn't you?
I did.
You put it on?
Paper.
Very good. Can I see what you wrote down?
Yeah.
Splendid. Thank you. Have you had an opportunity to see this, Rick? Today? You saw it at the time, because you've signed it, correct? That your signature?
Yeah.
What's funny about that?
I didn't think he'd still have that, to be honest.
Oh, yes, rather ruined your case. September the 1st, I, that's you, owe you the sum of £1,000 to be paid back within 6 weeks. Payment made of £100, and then it says by you. So you paid £100 of it, is that right?
Yeah, correct.
Do you remember signing that document?
I know, I've seen it, I do, yeah. It doesn't... Surely it can't be accepted, that. It's just like between friends, isn't it? Like just something written down between friends.
The bit that says, I owe you, yes?
Yeah.
£1,000, I will pay you back in 6 weeks. You signed it, and you say it's not a legal document because it's just written down between friends.
Yeah, yeah.
For more Judge Rinder cases, click here. And if you've got a legal issue yourself, get in touch with us by clicking over here.